Welcome to the hidden battlefield. Picture, if you will, a dimly lit room beneath the streets of London, where the fate of nations is being decided not with rifles or tanks, but with pencils, photographs, and paper. The year is 1943, and while soldiers storm beaches and pilots duel in the skies, another battle rages in silence, a battle fought by cartographers whose maps would become the most powerful weapons the Allies possessed. This is the story of the invisible warriors who won World War II one carefully drawn line at a time, and the fieldcraft techniques that made their intelligence gathering possible behind enemy lines. The art of reading the invisible landscape. Long before satellites could peer down from orbit, reconnaissance operatives developed an almost supernatural ability to read terrain like a living manuscript. These men and women, many dropped behind enemy lines, with nothing but silk escape maps sewn into their uniforms, had to master the ancient art of land navigation at a level that would shame most modern GPS-dependent travelers. They learned to identify their position by the slope of hillsides, the flow of watersheds, and the patterns of vegetation that revealed military installations hidden beneath camouflage nets. In the darkness of occupied France, an agent might crouch in a hedgerow, sketching defensive positions onto rice paper thin enough to swallow if captured, translating the three-dimensional reality of German fortifications into the two-dimensional language that would guide bombers to their targets. These field cartographers carried minimal equipment, a prismatic compass, a measuring pace counted over countless kilometers, and an eye trained to estimate distances with deadly accuracy. They understood that every church steeple, every crossroads, every bend in a river was a potential landmark that could mean the difference between a successful assault and catastrophic failure. Survival in the mapping mission. The operatives who gathered cartographic intelligence lived by fieldcraft principles that combined ancient survival skills with modern tactical awareness. Dropped into hostile territory, often at night, they had to immediately orient themselves using only the stars, the prevailing wind, and their memorized knowledge of the landscape. Water sources became navigation points. Streams and rivers that appeared as blue lines on maps were lifelines in reality, providing not just hydration, but directional guides through unfamiliar countryside. These agents mastered the art of moving through terrain without leaving traces, understanding that a broken branch or disturbed soil could alert enemy patrols to their presence. They built temporary hides using natural materials, creating observation posts that allowed them to watch railway junctions and troop movements for days, rationing their emergency rations with the discipline of men who knew resupply was impossible. When downed aircrews used those silk escape maps to evade capture, they were following routes marked by resistance fighters who had walked every kilometre, noting safe houses, water sources, and paths through the wilderness that German patrols had overlooked. From intelligence to victory, the transformation of field observations into strategic advantage happened in workshops where cartographers worked around the clock, translating aerial photographs and agent reports into the detailed maps that would guide the D-Day invasion. Every contour line representing elevation, every symbol marking an obstacle or fortification, was derived from intelligence gathered by individuals who had risked everything to observe and record. The beach surveys conducted by frogmen swimming through dark waters off Normandy, measuring sand gradients and identifying underwater obstacles, were acts of fieldcraft as much as military operation, men using their bodies as measuring instruments, their memories as recording devices, returning with information that would be transformed into maps, guiding thousands of landing craft to shore. Legacy of the line. The mapmakers of World War II understood a truth that remains vital today. Accurate knowledge of your environment is the foundation of survival and success. Their fieldcraft, the ability to read terrain, navigate without technology, observe without being observed, and translate three-dimensional reality into actionable intelligence, represents skills that transcend any single conflict. In our modern world of digital convenience, we've largely forgotten that every map, every GPS coordinate, every navigation app traces its lineage back to individuals who walked the ground, measured the distances, and recorded the details that make orientation possible. If this journey through history's hidden battlefield has inspired you, subscribe to Fieldcraft Chronicles and share this video with fellow history enthusiasts and preparedness-minded individuals who understand that the most powerful tools are often invisible. The next time you unfold a map or check your location, remember the cartographers who won wars with nothing but observation, courage, and an unshakable commitment to accuracy.